Hi, welcome to the Old Principal. I am the Old Principal, and we teach a little bit of English and a lot of life. So here we go. This is lesson number 101, Blue Monday. How do you like his hair? Like the blue color hair? Well, some people have it. Actually, the artist that did the picture, did this, is the man himself. Okay? Blue Monday. How can Monday, 星期一, be blue? You want to stay by because we will tell you about it. But we got to have the story. So the storyteller is there, and here she goes.
Blue Monday, that post-weekend down-in-the-dumps day, may be dangerous to your health or your wallet. More men die suddenly of heart attacks on Monday than any other day of the week. Your heart also knows about TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, because that's the work day when the fewest men die of heart attacks. A long-term follow-up study of nearly 4,000 men found that 38 had died of sudden heart attacks on Monday, while only 15 died on Friday. For men with no history of heart disease, Monday was particularly dangerous. Among that group, an average of 8.2 heart attack deaths occurred on each of the days, Tuesday through Sunday. But nearly 3 times as many occurred on Monday. There may be several reasons for this. Returning to work on Monday is a great stressor. In addition to that, over the weekend, many people overeat or overexert themselves. And just staying home from work on Blue Monday doesn't help much. 46.7% of the fatal heart attacks that occur at home also happened on Monday. Mondays create problems in other areas as well. In industry, more mistakes are made on Monday than on any other day of the week. From accountants to the manufacturer of computers, canisters, and cars, an increase of errors occur on Mondays. And these wreak havoc of people's lives in one way or another. For example, it's not well known, but you would be unwise to buy a car that came down the assembly line on a Monday. Workers often didn't get enough sleep over the weekend, or perhaps they played too many active games and their muscles are sore. Some may have drunk too much and are suffering from a hangover. Workers have been known to toss parts into the trunk when they get behind because of their sluggishness. The bottom line, beware of Mondays.
Oh, I am sure glad this is Tuesday. Except for yesterday was a holiday, and can I do Blue Tuesday also? Anyway, we will check it out and see what Blue Monday is all about.
Good.
Thank you, sweetheart. Okay. Now, we're going to start. I don't think I need that for today, or for at least a while. Blue Monday. Okay. Now, the blue, of course, is 蓝色 Monday, 星期一. But Blue Monday 另外一个含义是忧虑的 okay 忧虑的星期一 okay so what does it mean that post weekend okay post meaning after the weekend 周末之后 okay down in the dumps. Let's see if I can do this. How do you do down in the dumps? Good morning. How are you this morning? Do I sound like I'm down in the dumps? At least Mrs. Ash is laughing. That's okay. You can't see her laugh. Sometimes when she laughs, you need to point the camera at her. Okay. Down in the dumps means that you are not feeling very good. Okay? So that's down in the dumps. So it's post-weekend. So that's obviously Monday, right? Because the weekend is Saturday and Sunday. And so post-weekend would be Monday. Down in the dumps, you're not feeling good, you're tired, many different things. Oh, and you have to go to work. That's okay. May be dangerous to your health. So 对你的健康也有危险 and also to your wallet, 你的钱包. So Monday is more expensive than other days. Well, we're going to have to check and see how that is. More men die suddenly of heart attacks on Monday than any other day of the week. So we're talking about men. We're talking about a study, 调查, okay? They suddenly die of heart attacks, 心脏发作, okay? On Monday than any other day of the week. Nice way of saying, if we didn't have Monday, then we would probably be better off. But you have to have Monday. So pay attention. Monday may be dangerous to your health. I wonder about ladies, whether they have heart attacks on Monday too. We'll see. Your heart knows about TGIF. Now, you probably have never heard of TGIF, but any American would know what TGIF, it means thank God it's Friday. It's a saying. This is what we call an acronym. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. 感谢神，今天是星期五. Now, why would people say that? Well, people say that because on Friday, what's the next day? Saturday and Sunday. What do you do on Saturday and Sunday? Well, you go, many things. People go to church, people go play, they go camping, but they don't go to work. So, that's the reason why you hear the term, even, you don't have to be religious. 不是有信仰的人是说 TGIF, thank God it's Friday. It's not religious people that say that. Everybody says that. Okay? Because that's the work day when the fewest men die of heart attacks. Can you imagine that? The worst day, 这个心脏发作的最坏、最多的一天是 what? It's Monday. Okay, now let me ask you a question. What's the best day? It's too bad we can have Fridays all week long. Day 1 Friday, day 2 Friday, every day. But only Friday only comes once. Okay, it's 星期五. Okay? And fewest men, 最少的男人就心脏发作就是那天. Okay, going on. A long-term follow-up study, 长期跟踪调查. Okay? Okay, a long-term follow-up study of nearly 4,000 men found that 38 died of sudden heart attacks on Monday, while only 15 died on Friday. So more of these men died on Monday than they did on Friday. So obviously, Monday may be dangerous to your health. Going on. For a man with no history of heart disease, male 心脏病的这个历史。Okay? In other words, they didn't know that they had heart problems. Never had a problem. Didn't know about the problem. For men who had no history of heart disease, Monday was particularly, in this case, particularly means 特别危险，特别危险。Going on. Among that group, an average of 8.2 heart attack deaths occurred on each of the days, Tuesday through Sunday. 刚才提到那群人 okay, average 8.2 heart attack deaths occurred on each of the days, 星期二、星期三、四、五 okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now these are people with no history of heart attacks. They didn't know, right? Going on. But nearly 3 times that many occurred on Monday. But on Monday, 3 倍, 3 times as many on Monday. Going on. There may be several reasons for this. Maybe 可能有一些缘故，有些原因 okay? Okay? Several. 几个 okay? Returning to work on Monday is a great stressor. Okay. Okay, Monday, you start working again. Your work week is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5-day work week. 5 days. So then Saturday and Sunday you rest. Monday you start to work. So returning 回到工作的地方 is a great stressor. 巨大的 okay, 压力 stressor. 压力 or you can say is a great pressure. Great stressor. Causes stress. Going on. In addition to that, over the weekend, many people overeat or overexert themselves. Okay. Now, over the weekend, 经过这个周末, many people overeat, 吃得太多, 太丰富, 太好, but usually 太多, or they overexert. Okay, exertion. That means to work hard, or to play hard, or to do anything hard. So overexert is to do something 过度 too much, to do something too much, to overexert, like climb a mountain, run a marathon. Usually marathons, 这个马拉松一般是星期天. So how do you feel after you've run a marathon? Well, I've run a few marathons, and usually on Monday I'm tired. Okay? Okay? They overexert. So if you overexert, what do you mean? You get too tired. Okay? Too much work, too much play, and then you get too tired. Going on? And just staying home from work on Blue Monday doesn't work. So, of course, you could say, well, don't go to work. If going to work is the bad thing, stay home. Hey, nope, didn't work. Just staying home. 只要你留在家 on Blue Monday doesn't help. 没有什么多大的帮助 going on. 40%, 6.7% of the fatal heart attacks. What does fatal mean? That means 心脏发作而死. Okay, fatal means that they actually died. Okay, they actually died. Okay, occur 就发生在家 on Monday. Wow, going on. Mondays create problems in other areas. Mondays create problems in other areas. 会产生问题在一些其他方面 Okay, Mondays create problems in other areas. In industry. Okay, what is industry? Okay, 产业 Okay, 产业 More mistakes are made on Monday than on any other day of the week. So when they are making things in factories, 在工厂, Monday is a bad day. Why? Because more mistakes are made on Monday. 比起其他的时候还要多. More than any other day of the week. Going on. From accountants 从会计员 to the manufacture. Okay, the making of computers. Okay, 这个创造电脑 canisters, think of cans, maybe cans. Okay, you know, there's a little, do we have any cans here? This almost looks like a can, even though this is my water thing. It almost looks like a can, doesn't it? Well, hey, it's got a lid, so some have cans. Okay. From computers, canisters, and cars. So whoever wrote this, they like to use C. Computers, canisters, and cars. Everything starts with a C. 坐车. An increase of errors occur on Monday. 更加有错误. Okay? So, then don't buy something that's made on Monday. Actually, in America, you can, on cars, you can find out what day of the week it was made. I didn't know that. Maybe it's not common knowledge, but you could find out if you really wanted to. Going on. And these wreak havoc. Okay. What does it mean to wreak havoc? Okay. It means that they cause lots of problems. Just think of it this way. These, okay, problems wreak havoc on people's lives. Wreak havoc is a term we use. It means to cause a lot of problems. 使我们发生很多问题困难 Okay. Wreak havoc. Just memorize it. Havoc is 乱七八糟. Okay. Havoc. And wreck, well, we know usually is 发生意外. But together, wreak havoc just means they cause lots of problems in people's 人们的生活 in one way, 在 one way or another, in one, 在一方面或另外一方面，很多方面 going on. For example, it's not well known, but you would be unwise to buy a car that came down the assembly line, okay, assembly line, on Monday, okay? 可能人家都不知道，刚才我稍微提到的 It's not well known, 不是很多人知道 but you would be unwise to buy a car. 最好不要买一个在星期一所做出来的车子 to come down the assembly line. Have you ever been to a place that has assembly line? Actually, an assembly line, I don't know exactly, is it 流水线? Okay, actually what they do is they have a line and they have a car and it starts here and it just goes, oh, oh. Actually, it's just moving, slowly moving. And at every step, somebody puts this part on, puts this part. 他们就开始装. And at the end, what happens? At the very end of the 流水线, what happens? You have a car. Now, I once visited a car factory in China. Now, the interesting thing was they were making trucks. This was in Hubei. And they were making trucks. And so you could see the 流水线 and you could see people putting this. And tires came from here and a motor came from here and this, and it all came together. There's only one problem. When the truck was beautiful, but it wouldn't start. So they had what I call truck doctors. And they were specialists. And if a truck would not start, then they say, and they would take their, actually has a stethoscope, and they were listening to this and listening to that. What's the problem? Okay. But it's not well known, but don't buy a car that's made on Monday. Going on. Workers often didn't get enough sleep over the weekend. 他们睡眠不够. Okay? Okay, 这个工人. Or perhaps they played too many active games. 他们的活动他们就玩了太多. And their muscles are just a little bit sore. And so you're walking just, oh yes. Does that sound like Monday to you? Sure enough, going on. Some may have drunk too much. 有些就喝酒，就喝得太多 and are suffering from a hangover. What's a hangover? A hangover is usually 头疼, 头昏了. That's a hangover. 这个酒后的不好的一些现象，头疼、头昏等等. Go ahead. Workers have been known to toss parts in the trunk when they get behind because of their sluggishness. Okay, what does it mean? So while they're putting the cars together, these workers have been known, 真的是有这些经验 okay? So 有人发现 the parts, 零件 they just throw the parts in the trunk. 那么每一个车子后面不是有一个地方可以把轮胎等等放的 They just 打开 and then they throw all these 零件 in there and they said, finished. Finished? No, not really. Because of their sluggishness. Okay? What is sluggish? Means to be 慢吞吞的. It means to be 好像没有精神. Going on. The bottom line is beware of Mondays. beware of Mondays. Okay, the bottom line, what does that mean? Bottom line means the most important thing. Okay, the most important thing, like when you're adding things up, the bottom line is the total. This means the summary. This means what's the most important thing. The bottom line is beware, 小心, 星期一. Okay, Mrs. Ash, we're going to ask you about your Blue Monday experiences. See, she actually has kind of a blue dress on here. But on Mondays, do you ever have Blue Mondays?
Not that I recall.
Not that you recall.
No.
But maybe because you are a housewife, 家庭主妇, huh?
Yes.
So maybe you don't experience Blue Mondays, especially because now that we're older, 原则上我们已经退休了. In principle, we are already retired, but still, we sometimes on Sunday do a little bit too much.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes. So when Monday comes around, yes, but I have to work. I still work. Even though I'm retired, I still work. Anyway, I don't know how that works. Okay, but you still have Blue Mondays. Okay, sometimes on Mondays you go a little bit slower and you have more difficulties.
Well, often there's more work to do on Mondays also at the home.
Yeah, so Monday is blue because there's more work to do.
That's true.
Oh, we run out of time. Check out our email address. Our email address is theoldprincipal@gmail.com. 还有我们的网站是 www.theoldprincipal.org. Hey, with that, Connie and John, the old principal and his wife have to say goodbye for now. See us next time.
Bye.